guys, this is Beth.
And Nick too.
We've been designing our girls' bedroom and giving it a little makeover over the last few months, and we were inspired by Modsy's design of their room, and I loved these circle shelves, but
I was not about to let her pay $300 per shelf.
So we're going to show you how to make them today. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Mohawk Finishes, for making this project possible.
The circle part of the shelf is made up of 4 layers of polygons. The polygons themselves are 16 trapezoids. To start off, we're going to cut these individual trapezoids. To make these individual trapezoids, the first thing that we're going to do is take this 5/4 by 4 board and rip it in half to 1 1/4 inches. Then we cut one end to 11 1/4 degrees. The long leg of the trapezoid is 4.5 inches. So we're going to measure that and mark it, and then we'll cut to that 4.5 inches and set our miter gauge. We'll keep cutting these trapezoids until we have 64 total equally spaced trapezoids.
So now that we have all of our trapezoids cut, we're going to begin gluing them together. I just put a little glob of glue between each of the trapezoids and set them together until I had all 16 put together, and then we used a ratchet strap to cinch them tight.
Boom! After about 20 minutes, wipe off the glue and we are ready to roll. Once the glue is dried on the 4 polygons, we sanded both faces down and created this simple jig to be able to route the inside diameter. The jig is made up of extra polygon pieces. They're screwed to a substrate and pressed up against the outside diameter of the polygon. There's an additional piece in the center of the polygon, which was found by marking the corners of the polygon to find the center point. Set your circle jig so that your router bit will clean up all of the corners of the polygon. Next, we need to set up the jig to route the outside diameter. Move the polygon pieces of the jig on the inside and route the edges to match the ID of the circle. Adjust the circle jig to route the OD of the polygon. We want the circle thickness to be 1 inch.
So we need to stack 4 of these polygons together to get the depth that we need for these shelves. So we're going to apply a liberal amount of glue to each one and clamp them together. We sanded the edges using our oscillating belt sander.
Using a 24-inch square and a ruler, we measured over 6.5 inches from the side of the circle to the edge of the shelf and marked it. Placing the shelf on top of the circle, we used a pencil to trace where the 2 intersected. Using a transferring tool, we set the angle and transferred it to the table saw. Cut the shelf to length. Repeat this process for the bottom shelf.
Mark where they intersect and draw a half lap joint. Now cut your half lap joint. Assemble the shelf, add some glue, and place it inside the circle shelf. Now we're going to use our airstrike gun and pop some nails in there.
Once the glue is dried, sand the entire shelf down to a 220 grit finish. Wipe down the shelf in preparation for staining.
We tried out a new dye stain by Mohawk called Ultra Penetrating Stain, and we love the excellent fade resistance and that it doesn't bleed into the top coat finishes. You can brush, wipe, or spray it onto your project, but for the purposes of this project, we decided to just brush it, and it goes on very smooth and dries super fast. The color we used is called Perfect Brown.